Good afternoon, everybody. It's Lynn, the Leather Bag Lady. How are you all today? On this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday morning. I was just about to say Monday morning, but we had a holiday yesterday here in Canada, Victoria Day, and we had quite the weekend, which I will share with you after showing you today's beautiful 50s offering. So, if you think about a person in the 1950s, if you remember your granny and what she would have taken to church or taken out for a Sunday drive or whatever, this is probably it. Where did I put it? Here it is. This is today's bag. So, couple of things with this bag. First and foremost, it probably has a little more wear than you're used to seeing from me. Only because I do try and bring you the best of the best in terms of vintage purses. However, if you follow me, you know what a sucker I am for suede. So, this little bag really just kind of tugged at my heartstrings because I've listed it as a 7 out of 10 because you can see there are some spots where the suede is starting to kind of turn into a leather. I mean, there's still lots of movement in the suede, as you can see. So there's parts of the suede that are just beautiful. But then in the touch zones, there is some patina, there is some wear. And this really cute little diamond-shaped twist lock opens up. And the rest of the bag is this gorgeous chocolate brown patent leather. And the suede, the top of the bag, no stress points or no rips in the stress points here. Leather on the back, just a quality little bag. This would have been a bag that your granny would have saved up for, I'm sure. Or she would have gotten for a gift or something of that nature. There is a zipper compartment here. That is it. No label, no branding, unfortunately. And we move on from there. So, this back has lost its shape a little bit. Once you get some items in there, I do feel that is going to settle down. On the outside, it looks like there's 3 compartments. There is actually only 2, which you can see here. So, I guess this center divide is right in the middle here. So you've got kind of a compartment and a half on either side of this center divider. So why would I pick this little bag up? I've already said I'm a sucker for suede, and I just don't see a lot of these kind of 50s, maybe even 40s bags that are aesthetically pleasing to me. I have actually got a few of them. We'll talk about it in a minute. So there is really fun brass tone hardware. It is losing a little bit of its luster in the corners. I mean, let's not forget, this bag is over 50 years old potentially. And it really is not in that bad of a shape. But I just couldn't leave it. I couldn't. So it is a top handle until it's not. You can unsnap, and you now have a shoulder bag. So that was another reason that I picked it up. I don't think I would have it as a shoulder bag. I think it just screams my granny's purse in this configuration. And the strap is more of that patent leather and in great shape for its age. So I've listed it as about a 7 out of 10 just because there is a fair bit of wear on this front portion. The inside is perfect. The patent leather is fabulous. Maybe a little little crack there, which I can take care of. I didn't notice that prior, but I can put a little bit of dark brown dye or something in there just to mask it a little bit. I mean, it's not noticeable at all, but I now know it's there. So I will take care of that for you. So that is today's cute, cute, cute little bag. And it has been listed, so it is on Etsy as of now. So, what did you get up to this long weekend if you are in Canada? Well, how many kilometers did we drive? I think probably over 13 or 1400 kilometers. I'm not sure. So as you know, we've been looking for a van, and we had a van, and then the gentleman who was selling the van decided to keep it. So we've been looking. So this weekend, without realizing it, was not planned, we kind of ended up dedicating the whole weekend to looking for a van. So Friday night, what did we do? I can't even remember what we did Friday night. I don't think we did much of anything Friday night. Saturday, we went to Fergus, Shelburne, and Scarborough looking for vans. And we saw what we thought we were going to purchase in Shelburne. It was a very large, bold blue 1978 Ford Econoline van. Pius fell in love with it a little bit more than I did. I kind of appreciated the interior more than the exterior, but it was huge. It had the camper raised roof, and I just thought, how the hell are we going to get this in front of my house? And it was kind of at the upper end of our budget, probably a little over our budget, which we realized we needed to maybe do that, because what we were finding was that vans that we were going to see, like the two we saw in Scarborough on Saturday, oh my goodness me, they were just junk, absolute junk, and they looked fabulous in the listings. So, we realized pretty quickly that we probably needed to add a little bit to our budget. So we were working with the people with the van in Shelburne. Super, super lovely people. Just wanted to get rid of the van, but obviously it had some worth to it. So we didn't know what it would need to certify, being that it was as old as it was. The lady who was showing it to us had owned it for 20 years. So, it wasn't like it had just been traded in or something like that. So we left it with them that they were going to check it out and see what it needed to be certified, and off we went on our merry way. So then I saw another van, and I showed it to Pius, and then I went, oh, but it's in North Bay. And Pius went, so? I was like, okay. So I went on booking.com. I booked a room at the Travel Lodge in North Bay, and we set off on Saturday morning for a fabulous road trip. Took us about 4 hours to get there. We thrifted on the way. I went to Barrie Value Village, which I've had success at in the past. Got some nice stuff there. And then we actually went to the Value Village in North Bay, which I would be out of business if I lived in North Bay. Let's just put it that way. But it was kind of cool to see these different outlets and kind of how they set themselves up and whatnot. We went down to the kind of Lake Nipissing Park, and we sat on the bench and we just reminisced about our year together so far, because it will be a year tomorrow. And we had just the best time. The hotel room, cheap and cheerful would be a generous offering. The remote didn't work on the TV. The lamp on Pius' side of the bed, it didn't even have a plug to plug it in. It was just there because it was aesthetically pleasing with the lamp on the other side of the bed. But the room, it was large, it was clean. The bed made so much noise that, needless to say, it was a sleeping evening, that's for sure. Pius was so tired, and he has been having some issues with the knee and shoulder. So I ran him a hot bath, and he had a bath and basically lay down and was out. So he had a much needed rest, and he was doing all that driving, and so we had the best time. We did look at the van, which was a lovely van, but way too much money, needed way too much stuff. But we have met so many nice people. The people with the van in Shelburne, fabulous. The lady that showed us the van in North Bay, what a great lady she was. Her husband was away, and she was dealing with it, and we couldn't get it started, and we got it started, and we just had a hoot for a good half hour, 45 minutes. And then the folks that we went to yesterday, so we got back from North Bay about 2:30. We literally threw everything in the house, got our boots on, jumped on the bike, and headed to Simcoe to look at an Astro van that had recently been put online. And it was way below our budget. So I was really feeling a lot more comfortable with that. I know Pius in a perfect world would have preferred the larger blue van, but I think in hindsight, we're starting out small, inexpensively, and what a great young man we purchased this van from. We got there, and he came out, and he was a very kind of farmer boy looking young man. He wasn't even the one that we were dealing with. It was his brother who had taken off, and he didn't really know what was going on. And apparently there was another person coming to look at the van as well. They had had a couple of people prior who had offered them next to nothing. So they were getting frustrated and didn't really want to deal with it anymore. It was their grandfather's van who was giving up his license, and it was just a whole story. And they wanted to give it to somebody who was going to look after it. Their grandfather said, take it, but please just don't let it end up in the scrapyard. So we bought it. And we will be posting van life material in amongst our bag adventures, because this van is very much going to be part of my bag life. We are going to thrift in it. We are going to go to shows in it, and we are just going to travel. So we're excited, a little nervous too. I went to the ministry to try and get a temporary plate for it today. What a shit show that was. And that's a whole other conversation. My goodness, I don't have the time to tell you about the people in the ministry office who were only dealing with issues because they got pulled over and were driving a vehicle that had a plate and an ownership and insurance for a vehicle that they didn't even own that vehicle. Oh, it was a mistake. Bullshit. It was a mistake. You got caught. And then another gentleman, God bless him, $1,700 worth of 407 payments before he could renew his license. And then I get to the wicket, and we were in no way prepared for this. It's a whole new system now. You don't just buy a little paper thing and put it in the window. You actually purchase the plate. So we needed insurance. We needed an appraisal. We needed our bill of sale. And I had none of those things. I had the ownership. That was about it. So anyway, off I went, frustrated, because I hate doing shit like that. But it makes more sense that I do it because I am here. Supposed to be working, but I'm here and available to go and do that stuff. So anyway, I spoke to Pius, and this young man is going to take the van over to our mechanic and get it certified. And there will be way more van adventures to come. And this little van is going to be called the Gnome Home. So Pius has had over the years some of his buddies joke about him being a beautiful little shorter package of fierce manhood. But he's short, and he's been the Keebler elf, he's been the gnome. So he came up with calling our van the Gnome Home, because I probably guarantee it will be the smallest one out of our group. And I said, you know what? If you can't take advantage of your height, then why not? We should do, because this van is more of a minivan than a cargo van. So in order to sleep this way, you need to be short, and we are. So we are going to take advantage of our height and just celebrate that part of our physique. Hopefully I can get my shit together with my eating and not. I had a t-shirt on today and it was uncomfortable to work out in. It was tight. And I'm like, okay, I have got to get to grips with this shit because I am losing my plot quickly. And I've gotten from that point to this point in probably 4 months. And if I give it another 4 months, I will be toast altogether. It is salvageable at the moment. It's going to be tough, but it is salvageable. So, still no booze, still no chocolate. We've been really good. We had no drinks on our trip to North Bay. I wanted to go for a drink so bad. We went to the casino. We won $50. It was great. We had an amazing weekend. Poor Pius went to work today to get a break. So he drove so many miles, but what a beautiful drive up to North Bay it was. And then on the way back, we went through Borden, which is, Pius was in the military for a very short time in his younger years. So he kind of took me through the base and showed me where he lived as a cadet or private or whatever it's called. But it was really cool. It was a lovely, lovely trip. And we were exhausted when we got home. Like I said, jumped on the bike and went and bought a van. So there we are. So we'll leave it at that for today, but please check out the bag on Etsy if it's something you think you might enjoy, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.